Hey guys, this is Jenn and Julien, and you're listening to X Appeal Season 2, Episode 6.
Yeah, you got it right.
Yeah, I got it right.
What's going on, Julien? How are we doing? How are we feeling from last time I talked to you?
It was good.
I don't know. You were sick last time.
Oh yeah, I had a little cough. It went away. Non-COVID related, but you know, kept living my life. Went away.
Live your life.
Did like this whole like the LA remedies, oregano oil and echinacea and
honestly, like
it worked.
Sometimes I hate living in Los Angeles.
Just for that?
Just for the people.
Yeah.
Like, and that's no joke. So I was at a screening of the Downton Abbey, a new era movie.
Looks
that's coming out soon. And I don't know if it was just like because every single time I'm in the same theater, something weird always happens. Like last time I was in the theater, people just get testy with each other. Like, first of all, I was the only person in the theater who was not wearing a mask.
Okay.
And it was a bunch of like older white ladies. And they were all, three of them, like behind me, were all talking about some shit. And like something came up. Somehow they got to talking about shotgun suicides and the messiness of a shotgun suicide. And, and there was a girl who was right next to them. And she said, do you care if we not talk about this before a Downton Abbey screening? and they were like, oh yeah. Of course. Now, if we were to be shooting Donald Trump, that'd be another. And like they got into like, okay, so you're not. And she was like, well, yeah, then I'm down for that. I'm like, what is this place? So you're okay with you get sickened by the idea of somebody doing that to themselves, but if it's done to a former president, then okay, then that's fine. And then they start talking about like Gavin Newsom potentially running for presidents and how he married that horrid woman.
Opinionated people, I see.
I know. I'm like, I don't need to hear any of this right now. No. And it was just, and people talk like they just don't, that they think all their conversations are private, no matter where they are. Like, I have 2 ears. I can hear what you're saying. I'm literally 3 feet away from you.
I know. How did you feel about not wearing a mask? I am so tired about mask. Like, I don't know.
I kind of felt like, well, should I be? There's no rule saying that I should be anymore. I mean, they did away with the whole mask indoors in Los Angeles like weeks ago.
Oh yeah. And it's so funny because I just saw a Bill Maher episode where the whole episode's about masks, and it's like 2 people debating and stuff, and he's giving out all those like facts of how inefficient they are. And it was just like, at first I was all about it. I was like, yeah, I mean, if we got to do it, we got to do what we got to do. But I think like we've reached a point where if I'm indoors and like before, if I was indoors and somebody felt uncomfortable that I didn't have a mask, I'd be like, yeah, totally fair. I'll wear it. No worries. Even if we didn't have to. But now I feel like I'm at a point where if somebody's uncomfortable, I'd be like, well, just leave. Because at this point, it's like,
we're following the rules. I followed the rules since the very beginning.
You got to move on.
Yeah. And I was waiting for one person to say something to me. Yeah. I was hoping for it because there are people who were in the front and they never said anything, like the gatekeepers, so to speak, that checking your tickets or whatever. They never said anything. So I was fine. But last time I was at that same theater, there were like 3 people wearing berets. Who wears berets anymore, first of all? And then to see 3 people in one theater wearing berets.
I'd rather wear a beret than a mask, though.
Weird. You wear a what?
I'd rather wear a beret than a mask at this point.
Yeah.
Yep. I have to send you this video of this. I guess it's an actress. They're doing a Q&A, and she went off on somebody on the audience that had a mask below their nose, like off.
Below their nose?
Yeah. And I would have flipped if I was that person that she went off. I'd be like, you better shut the fuck up.
You overpaid, overrated.
Yeah. Like, if you're that scared, don't do a Q&A. Stay home at this point.
Yeah, exactly. Then don't be in public.
Now we're sounding like we're Trump supporters,
I know.
If you don't like it, you can just stay home. If you don't like it,
is that your gruff American voice?
Yeah, you can get out. But yeah, no, other than that, things are good. I did a fun shoot with someone. I can't say who.
Is this legit? Whenever you sent that text, is that legit who it was?
Yeah. But I can't say who until it's out.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh God. Okay. So once it's out, I want to have a full 30-minute conversation about that.
Yeah, we can. It'll be out.
That's amazing.
It will be on that person's Instagram, the brand's Instagram.
Oh, your following is going to blow the fuck up.
I don't think so because I'm not going to get tagged. This is all promotional, so I don't think.
Oh,
it's okay. I got paid, and it was just that's fine.
It's pretty baller status.
It just shows I can hang with the big boys.
Just don't date any of them.
No,
your life is going to be over if that happens.
I wouldn't want to. I'm very happy right now.
Yep.
Relationship, so we're good. Talking about that dating and
speaking of relationships and dating and the kind of profession, I guess.
I forgot where I saw that. I think it was it was again. All my ideas for our episodes are all based on TikToks that I'm seeing.
Oh, okay.
So what is a profession that you would never date?
That I would never date.
Ever. Like you meet the guy, you like him, the dates are good, he's a nice guy, but because this person does this job, you're like, I cannot date you.
Oh, there are many. There are many. Did you see me scratching my armpit like an ape right now?
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm doing that. I think I get nervous. Whenever I get nervous, my armpits itch like Molly Shannon in that movie.
Wow.
Sometimes when I get nervous, I put my hands here, sniff my armpit like that.
Now you smelled your finger.
Don't you remember what that movie's from? It's an SNL skit that got turned into a movie.
I didn't.
Molly Shannon? Oh,
no.
God. I know Sasha knows this, but she's not going to chime in. Okay. So yeah, there are many professions that I would not date. First of all, anybody who's in my own business, I wouldn't want to date.
A host or in entertainment?
A host, anybody who's in like TV news, anybody who's like a host of anything. No, I wouldn't want to. I wouldn't want
the whole entertainment, just a host in front of camera.
No, it doesn't. It's someone who's in a hosting capacity in front of the camera.
Okay.
That could be used. It could be entertainment, sports, anything. Just because I feel like there's this weird inherent sense of competition there.
Okay.
And like one-upmanship. Mm-hmm. And what kind of opportunities are you getting? Well, I got to get on my agent to get those opportunities. And like, it just becomes not satisfying relationship.
Yeah.
Plus you're not really learning much, and that's the whole point, right? It's to grow and change in a relationship and like grow together and learn together, learn about each other.
Yeah.
And if the huge swath of their life is something that you already know and you already do that for a living, then where's the growth in the education? But that's just me. I would.
Some people say that the fact that you guys have the same profession, it's so much easier to understand each other, and then you guys can actually help.
Yeah, you have a lot in common, but that can only go so far.
Yeah.
I guess maybe you can like have the same gripes and complaints, but well, okay. I can tell you another one that I would never touch. I used to touch a lot, but I won't touch anymore. Would be a model. Like if you don't have anything else going on, if you're just a model.
Mm-hmm.
No thanks.
Why?
No thanks. I look at that as like, you must really think you're good looking. Like I just kind of think that it's that inherent sense of arrogance and narcissism that is a huge turnoff for me.
Really?
Yeah, like you obviously think that you're good looking.
I mean, what if it's a big male model and then like
the bigger they are, the worse. The worse to me.
Really? What if they're like, oh, I have this audience, I'm gonna start selling my own brand?
I know that you get like DMs of like all these like girls who are hitting you up all the time. There's temptation everywhere. You're shooting with beautiful women. Like there's only so much. There's only so far you can take a relationship like that. I've been in relationships with guys who were models, and it just was not fulfilling at all.
Really?
At all.
Man, I don't agree with that one, but.
Yeah,
they don't need a DM to cheat on you if that's what you're scared. Like anybody can just cheat whenever they want.
Sure, but they have more opportunity because they are good looking, and they are surrounded by beauty.
And you don't think a good-looking, fancy lawyer doesn't have any opportunities, or a good-looking
Not as many. Not as many as that. It's more of a cerebral profession. Like you're focused on shit that's like, not your body, not someone else's body, not like looking sexy and feeling sexy all the time and like feeling yourself. And I don't know. To me,
what if they treat it as a job? It's just like, yeah, I mean, I'm doing this.
I think I set my parameter, like even on, there's some app that you could set your parameters to like not pick certain things. And for mine, it was modeling. Like I don't want.
Even if the guy is saying, look, I was blessed with these genes and I make really good money and I've invested in 3 properties that are not rental properties, and I'm doing, my team and I are looking on launching a piece of jewelry.
Okay, but you're talking then about getting into the entrepreneur space. Like you're talking about getting into owning a business and hustling. I respect that, but if you're just going out and modeling,
oh yeah,
and that's your only job, no thanks.
Okay. All right. Old.
I'm just being honest. You asked for honesty.
Yeah. So we got a host or a model. Okay.
Yeah, hosting, modeling. I would also not want to date an athlete.
Okay.
And while I respect athletics, I just think that is such an all-consuming world that there wouldn't be much time for anything else.
For you? But your world is fully consuming.
It's pretty consuming.
Yeah.
It is.
So in a way, him being consuming, that works.
I would also feel bad as fuck. Like I don't think I would, like how can I date an athlete? I've never played sports a day in my life. I would feel so inadequate.
And that would be any sports, like a baseball athlete or when you think athlete, are you thinking like soccer player?
Well, baseball players, I don't know. Maybe it's not as aggressive in baseball.
I mean, baseball is the only sport where you see like an overweight athlete.
Yeah, because you're standing on the field waiting for shit to happen.
Yeah.
You're looking up in the sky. That's all you're doing.
What about an MMA fighter?
Oh, no. No. That's way too much like testosterone, getting hit in the head. Like, no, thanks. That's a deadly. That can literally be a deadly combination.
What about a golfer?
What about what?
A golfer, professional golfer.
No, because I know that lifestyle.
Oh, is it bad?
Oh, they are hoed out.
Really?
Absolutely. Golf in and of itself is a hoe man sport.
Really? I feel like every man, when they pass the age of 35, plays golf.
Like my ex-husband was an amateur golfer who thought he could be professional. And like, I was in that golf space for like 5 years, and I really found out that there is a seedy underbelly when it comes to professional golf that nobody really talks about. I'm happy to talk about it sometime. But it's a lot of it's a lot of leaving your wife and going on golf trips with your boys, and then, going to and then having like the caddy girls, and I don't know. It's gross. It's gross.
All right.
And they all get hotel rooms for the weekend, and they all hire hookers, and it's just, I know the game. Okay. I know the deal.
Basically any athlete except baseball.
Yeah. I mean, baseball, I had the chance to go out. I did actually go on a few dates with a couple of professional baseball players.
Yeah.
And they were cool, but they also travel a lot. That's something else too. If you're in the professional level, you're always traveling.
Yeah, of course.
You probably have ladies at every.
It seems like a lot of the reasons why, like a lot of professions you don't want to date has some.
It's competition.
Yeah, with ladies around you.
Yeah.
So you want to date what, like a priest?
Well, I'm in a very committed relationship right now. But I would say if I weren't, I would just pick an ogre and just like marry that person.
You don't think your man and
have ugly babies together, and then just have an ugly.
Your man who's an emergency doctor. You don't think he has a lot of cute little nurses running around?
God, there's a reason that I had a baby with this man, because he is a 1 in a billion kind of person. He is very good looking. He's brilliant, and he is not interested in anybody else except for me. That's it. I feel that in my spirit. That's how confident I am that this man is never going to stray.
Yeah.
Ever. I don't even think it. He has seen me at my absolute worst. He's seen me when I was deep in pregnancy and farting uncontrollably. He has seen me pee myself. He has seen he has seen the ugliest side of me.
Wait,
without makeup.
You feed yourself? I forgot.
I would pee myself all the time when I was pregnant because you have no bladder control. Like your pelvic floor is so weak.
Oh, it wasn't like a night after having too much wine when you
No. But he has definitely held my hair up while I've puked in the bathroom from drinking or from being sick.
Okay,
he is a ride or die.
Yeah.
He's a ride or die kind of person. Plus, he's an ER doctor, so he sees the worst of the worst every single day.
Yeah.
It's going to be hard to gross him out when he deals with people who have whose thumbs exploded or people who got in terrible car accidents, or he has to stick his hand up people's asses for a living way more than you'd think he would. Like it happens on a daily basis.
I'm sure.
Yeah. So yeah, hard to gross him out. But what were we even talking about? The other profession. The other profession I wouldn't date would be a personal trainer, because it is of my belief that personal trainers have sex with their clients.
Oh my God. You're the fucking worst.
It's very small. There's a very small slice of the population that I would consider dating. What about you? Enough about me.
Oh my God.
What about you? You're probably like kumbaya. Like I would date the world. Fine. It's fine. It doesn't matter.
No, I kind of join you on the model thing.
Yeah, you've said it before, I think.
Yeah,
like people like Instagram models. Especially.
Yeah. I think if they're like very successful, like I always remember I went to shoot something in Tulum one day, and I was the only guy with 3 girls, and it was like a 2-day shoot, so we were shooting for 2 days. And one of the girl was dope. She was she literally acted like a dude. At the end of the day, she would come and drink whiskey with the photographer, and I would just all kick it, like super cool. Yeah. And then there was this other one who was pretty much obsessed with herself. And we were done shooting. We had half a day to just enjoy. Most of us went to see like a cenote and just kind of like go explore. And she went to the photographer and was like, "Hey, you want to go shoot on the beach?" And I was just like, in my mind, I didn't say anything. It was like, you just spent 2 days taking pictures of yourself. You need more?
Yeah.
So that is kind of like something where it's like, where I would, understand where you're coming from. It's like somebody who's just about, there's 2 types of models. The one who's doing it for the money and they're like just good at it. And they're like, boom, boom, boom. They got to do it. But then there are the ones that are just like constantly want to have pictures and it's all about them.
Because they're in love with themselves. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Or just constantly trying to like make sure they look good, and it's just like.
But that's what I'm saying. There's like a certain level of like consciousness and love for. I'm all about self-love. I think that you should have all the confidence in the world. But it is kind of a turnoff, like when you're talking about, especially a man who's like in love with the way they look. Like, you just must think you're so special. Like, I don't know. There's like something about that that's a. Ick.
Oh, for sure. And then also like from shooting with a lot of girls, like there's always 1 or 2 on set that's constantly taking selfies.
Yeah.
Like showing the makeup, before the makeup, after the makeup, recording everything. And just like, to me, that's just too much. Like if you
that's behavior. Time, that's not the profession. That's behavior.
What's unfortunately, this behavior is starting to just grow on everyone, but.
But you just took a cross section of like 3 different people at the same photo shoot, all of whom do the same thing for a living. So you would date a model if they maybe didn't have certain characteristics, like narcissist characteristics.
Yeah, it's not really about the profession then. It's more about the type of people that do it, generally speaking. But if it was a model and she has, like I said, like a plan on how to grow, or she's trying to open her own thing based on the image, like. Women like, I don't know, the old time Victoria's Secret model like Ambrosio or all these women, I feel like some of them really built an empire out of them being Victoria's Secret model, and this I absolutely respect. So this I wouldn't mind because it's successful, but the average model is not something that I would be into just from seeing who I've hung out with. But I've also hung out with some models that are cool as shit, and they're just
Well,
like,
the field is so crowded now.
yeah.
It's almost like there's nothing real special about it. Like, and you can buy anything that you want to, you know what I mean? Like, you can buy a new pair of breasts, you can buy an ass, you can buy body contouring, you can buy a new face.
Yeah.
Like, it's gotten so diluted and so cheap. I think the modeling space has that, and not to mention all the different. You're not even talking about the filters and like.
But I think it comes down from
Photoshop access. Yeah.
I think it comes down to how successful they are. It's always the mediocre, successful ones that take the most pictures, that are the most demanding. But then the big fashion models that are just literally doing this and making like 10, 15 grand or up to 50 grand a campaign. Like these ones, usually they're not on their phone. They're just
because they have nothing to prove. And that's
exactly.
like with any industry, right?
Yeah. So
even acting.
So for that, I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind. I guess the main one I wouldn't really be into, and that's gonna just sound like a hater, but it's anybody like this is kind of like a profession now. The OnlyFans people is just something that I wouldn't want to date. It has nothing to do with just them showing their body for money. I mean, of course, as a man, I don't really want the whole world to see it, but it just, to me, it comes out of, it seems like a lazy behavior. It's like, by showing this part of my body, I make X. It doesn't require any work. All I got to do is this, and then I'm done.
Yeah.
And it is, as much as it could be hard work, because it could be hard on your soul, and it could be hard on, you got constantly entertain and creating. It's like, in my mind, it's like you choose the easy way out and the easy way to do it. And you could have, for sure, there's other ways to make money. Like,
so it kind of sounds to me like we're picking our profession or we're avoiding certain professions based on personality characteristics.
Yeah.
Like you like someone who's a hustler. Like you like somebody who has that drive within them. And you don't like people who, maybe are internally like insecure, I guess. And I don't like people who are narcissists and
surrounded by girls.
Yeah. Well, I don't like cheaters and narcissists.
Yeah. I mean, who does?
Yeah.
I think yeah, I guess, yeah, when we say profession, I guess it's just kind of like the general aspect of that profession, like who generally does this, then it's these type of people, and then I'm like, all right, well,
right,
you know,
yeah, that's a manifestation of personality traits that we don't,
because
we don't like,
because of the choices they make and all that stuff. But
yeah, I mean, this is the career that you chose.
That's it.
That says a lot about you.
I know, but like in a way, it sucks that, for example, in my case, that I'm judging this way, because if you put my life on paper, I don't look like the person that I am. He's an actor and model who works in nightlife. That's like the worst combination.
On paper, it would seem a certain way, but then, I get that's a valid point. So
it's like, who am I to judge somebody who's doing OnlyFans, who's doing this? Like, because it's not like I'm also part of that thing, right?
But you can filter. That's a good filter. It's a good filter.
In a way, what do you mean?
It's a good filter because, and yes, we are making generalizations because there's too many people out there to not make generalizations. Mm-hmm. Like when it comes to, you know what I mean? If you're on a dating app and you're looking for a certain kind of person, you're going to stay away from certain professions. Yeah. Because of your past experience, or because of the stereotype that comes along with those career choices. Yeah. And I mean, like I hear Instagram model, I think vapid girl who shows too much skin and gets her life subsidized by sugar daddies. That's what I think. Yeah. And same thing with modeling. I know how much of a hustler you are. Like I know there's a big time hustle when it comes to modeling, because I dated this guy. He was a Brazilian model. He came to New York, and like stayed, leeched off of me for about a month. Literally, I lived in a studio apartment. Okay. Yeah. And I let him stay with me for a month straight. Didn't ask for any rent, nothing.
Mm-hmm.
I went to work one day and I was at work for like, I think it was a longer day. It was like 10 hours, right? And all I asked this MFer to do was do the dishes, please. And there were not even that many dishes because I remember I only had like 8 plates because I was living by myself. I get home, this motherfucker's on the couch watching TV, didn't touch a dish. I'm like, get out.
That's whack. Yeah.
And by the way, you owe me $1,700 in rent.
Wow.
He paid it. But
he paid it?
Yeah, he did. Because he knew he was a piece of shit.
Yeah. Okay.
But anyway, I digress. What are some professions that you are attracted to?
Funny enough, medical field, and I'm dating a nurse.
Oh, well, yeah. You hooked yourself a lady from the medical field.
Yeah. I think it's because my dad is a surgeon, my mom's a dentist. I've always kind of grew up in that space. I also feel like compared to an average person, I'm a little bit more educated when it comes to the medical field, and I know a bit more about medicine and all that stuff just from being around it.
Yeah.
It's always something that I'm fascinated by. So when the idea of dating someone, being with someone who's in the medical field, or, it could be a doctor, a nurse, it could be even like a good chiro or something, that would have been, I think that's something that I've always into. Or a business, like a business oriented, like an agent, a lawyer, someone that I it's so funny because I feel like a lot of men, they're always kind of like, they would rather have a woman that's a little less successful than them.
Yeah, because you're right. That's
which sure I understand because I feel like
powerful and needed.
And also women always usually express that they want to look up to their men. So that means the man has to be very successful. But I think you can look up to someone, depending on how successful they are by their drive or whatever. But I like a boss girl. I like somebody where I'm like, fuck yeah, she's making moves. She's making money. She's working. She's doing this. She's, she's helping people.
Yeah.
That. So to me, it's super attractive.
Yeah, go Julien.
I'm pro boss ladies, and
yeah,
my girl, she's definitely in that category. Like she's working and she's very smart, and I think right now she's not necessarily doing exactly what she loves, but there's bills to pay, but she got option. I think that's cool.
Mm-hmm. We have to go on a double date.
Yeah, absolutely. That would be so cool.
I'm surprised that hasn't happened yet.
I know. It's so hard though because I work Friday nights and Saturday nights. And
I know, and I'm.
And I
have no life.
What about you? Is there something that you've always looked to?
Medicine. And I don't know why. I just think it's like having witnessed what my first boyfriend who was in medicine, like what he had to do to get his medical degree. Mm-hmm. And the sacrifices that you have to make, and he was a piece of shit. So like, let's not get this twisted. Like he was not in this for the right reasons. Like he wanted to do medicine so he could get on TV and basically be a television personality.
Got it.
And to me, that was super unattractive.
Yeah.
But Jared, I see what he sees every day at work, and like. He tries not to bring it home with him, but I mean, he tells me stories.
Yeah, of course.
Whenever he comes home, of he's seen, he can't even count the number of people he's seen die. He can't count the number of people whose lives he's saved, and that's just like an average day for him.
Yeah.
He makes real he changes people's lives on a daily basis.
Yeah, that's for sure inspiring.
Yeah, it's absolutely inspiring. And he's so fucking smart. He's so smart. And compassionate and kind and just like and patience. Yeah, he's just
so yeah. So
I trust him instantly. Yeah. Like there's just this level of capability and trust that you have in someone that I think comes along with the nature of the job in medicine. It's his mission. Like he's in medicine because he wants to help other people. He's not in medicine to feed the God complex or anything like that. Like he's doing it for all the right reasons.
That's awesome.
So yeah, I really respect that. I would also, I mean, before I met Jared, I would say like firefighters too. Firefighters have to like, and when you're in Los Angeles, literally all the firefighters are stupid hot. Like it's stupid. It is absolutely criminal how hot these firefighters are. But yeah, just
somebody who's like helping. You like someone who's helping.
I like helpers. I like people who are just like selfless in what they do.
Yeah.
For a living.
I see.
I think there's like real heroism in that, and I have the utmost respect for people who are in those lines of work.
Okay. Yeah.
And military too, even though that's a scary ass thing to do. And I would be stressed out and worried every single day.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't get to see your significant other for like a year at a time.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't know where they are because they can't tell you. Despite all those things, very attractive profession.
Yeah.
Super attractive. Nothing hotter than like a military man coming home and surprising us. I'm getting chills.
Those videos, just like you turn
Woo!
around, there he is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's some romance novel shit right there.
That's great. Okay, great. Well, yeah. We're fairly on the same page, I think.
Good.
That's great. Well, that's it.
So when you think about all that, it's amazing that we actually dated each other, because if you look at it on paper, we're the opposite of each other's types.
Exactly. We're the opposite. Yeah. Yeah, which is why we're better off as friends.
Exactly.
Great.
All right. Until next time.
Until next time, guys.
A Huda Media Production.